Red Sox fans have longed to hear it. The Boston Red Sox are world champions. Game over, series over, and the Red Sox are world champs again. It hasn't happened at Fenway Park for 95 years. The Red Sox are world champions. From the top on down, here comes a 1-2 pitch. Red Sox win the World Series.
This is the Inside the Sox podcast, presented by Grandstand Productions, hosted by Rob Anglin, starting in 3, 2, 1.
What is up, everybody, and welcome to Inside the Sox podcast, hosted by Grandstand Productions. As always, it is your boy Rob Anglin with my good friend Harrison, my good friend Justin, and we got a special guest today here in Matt. Welcome, Matt, to the podcast. How are you doing today? Uh-oh. I don't think we can hear you, Matt. I think your mic's on mute. Uh-oh. Wait. Having some technical difficulties. Hold on. Wait. Should we... Hold on. Should we click restart, Justin, on this? Do you do that?
No.
No? Okay. We're going to go with the... What happened? Hold on. How do I pause this?
You guys hear me?
I can hear you now. Okay, good. I didn't want to... Sorry about that, guys. We were having a little bit of technical difficulties earlier. Usually we restarted. We're good now. How are you doing, Matt?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
We're not too bad. A good start to the episode. We just wanted to welcome you on to our podcast. Thank you for coming on. As always, we love having guests on our podcast, and we just want to welcome you to the Inside the Sox podcast. And we just want to always start whenever we have a guest, you mentioning what you do for a living and what you love about being a Red Sox fan and what made you a Red Sox fan.
Well, first of all, I'm a realtor in Massachusetts. It's kind of my main gig, but I write for Belly Up Sports as well. I grew up in Massachusetts, so I don't know, that's kind of where my fandom kind of came from. I played baseball throughout high school, and baseball's kind of always been my favorite sport to play and watch. You know, I'm a big Patriots guy as well, but I have a deep love for the game of baseball and the art of the game. I coached at Drake High School in Massachusetts for a few years. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to be here. Excited to talk Sox with you guys, and we can get going.
Let's get it. I love to talk baseball, especially talking Sox, because I feel like a lot of times on Twitter or everywhere you go, Red Sox fans are kind of like pessimistic about the season. But over here at Inside the Sox, me, Harrison, and Justin, we're always positive and optimistic about the season because we feel very positive about this team entering the season. And a positive note, today the Red Sox remain undefeated in spring training. They're 4-0 and with 2 ties. Fortunately, the 2 ties, one against was the Astros, and then the other one was the first game against the Braves that had the pitch clock thing. We're going to get to that later, but we're going to start with this Phillies game, a huge win for the Red Sox. 15-3, I believe, that was the final, or 15-2 was the final today, and we saw a lot of guys getting starts. 15-3? Okay, I was right the first time. That's what I thought. 15-3 was the final. We had a very, very good game offensively, and I feel like this Red Sox team, we got to look at what the opening day lineup will most likely look like. Obviously, there might be a couple guys interchangeable, but this lineup, honestly, on paper, looks really, really good, and they had some good performances. That the man, the myth, the legend behind Harrison. I'm going to have ask Harrison first, and we'll go around the table, his thoughts on the game, because the man behind him had a huge game today for the Sox.
How about Christian Arroyo? A solo and a grand slam. Dude, nothing cannot describe. I'm happy for Christian Arroyo. I think he's going to be our starting second baseman, and also when Trevor Story's going to come back. Christian Arroyo, man. Oreo was amazing. He probably had like 4 Oreos this afternoon after that. But like either way, I'm happy for Christian Arroyo. He was probably by far the MVP of the spring training game. But I like the bullpen was pretty good. The first prospect pitcher, I kind of forgot what was our first prospect there.
Brian Mata.
Yep, and he was actually did pretty good as well. I'm just happy for Christian Arroyo. That's all I have to say, man.
I love to see Christian Arroyo healthy. Yeah, I think he's a guy that's a big spark plug for this team, especially like we've seen how he performs when he is healthy. He's a guy that can get on a hot streak really fast. I mean, we've seen it like in Atlanta where he hits the grand slam off the bench. We've seen him hit home runs in bunches. A guy that gets on base, hits the ball, and he plays a very good second base. And I feel like, yes, this is his starting job right now to lose at the moment because there is another guy in Emmanuel Valdez who is playing amazingly. I don't think he will be the opening day second baseman to start, but I think Arroyo definitely got it on lock. But let's hear your thoughts, Matt. What do you think about this win, and what do you think about the Sox team so far in the spring?
I mean, at this point, I'm wondering if they're ever going to lose.
Mm-hmm.
No, I mean they've looked good. I think what I'm most excited about is seeing these young pitching prospects. Uh, the Sox farm system got a lot of shit this offseason because
Mm-hmm.
that's Heim Bloom's specialty, or what's supposed to be his specialty. And so, when you saw Keith Law from the Athletic come out and put the Sox at 23 in the MLB, I really couldn't do anything but laugh at that, that ranking. And his reasoning was the pitching prospects. So I'm excited to see Walter, Mata, and Murphy come in, and I think they could all, by the end of the year, play a role, especially Mata. I really think he's kind of underrated, and if it wasn't for him getting hurt with Tommy John and having the long recovery, he would be much more. He'd be ranked much higher and much more coveted as a prospect. In terms of what you guys were talking about with Christian Arroyo, I mean, he deserves an opportunity to have more of a full time role. The dude, like, he health is an issue, but when he plays, he's pretty solid. I mean, if you can get 275, 280 out of a guy that will maybe hit 15 home runs at second base, that's pretty damn solid as a replacement until you have a Trevor Story coming back and hopefully around the All-Star break. So I mean, overall, I'm pretty optimistic without getting too much into it. It's really just kind of getting opening day here, so we can kind of see what
Mm-hmm.
this team really is. The first month of the season it really might make or break this team. They have to stay afloat.
Mm-hmm. Especially when the first month of the season, you always want to get on the right foot. You want to always start, especially the way they're playing at spring training. If they can translate that to opening day in the first month of the season, have guys get a lot of at bats and a lot of hits and just stay healthy, I think this team can really be a problem. Especially if they get ahead, you always want to start up. If you can start ahead, you'd rather slack in the early. It's always so good to slack in the beginning of the season because there's always hot streaks, and the best time to pick it up is at the end of the year. But if you start off strong, you're most likely to continue that throughout the season. I saw Justin had his finger up. I want to see what his thoughts are on this game and his thoughts on this team are. Justin, whenever you're ready, you can pop it up on the screen for us, and I'll read it out. The most underrated guy in the league, Jaime Extend Arroyo. I do agree with that. I think Arroyo gets a lot. I think Christian Arroyo is a very solid player. I think like a guy that when you say he deserves starting time, I completely agree. A guy that literally would swap his position, he literally or take his time away. He was playing second base for the Red Sox in 2021 as their starting second baseman towards the end of the year, and he even said, "Want to get Trevor Story here? He was willing to go play right field." If that doesn't say a team player, I don't know what does. Especially a guy like Christian Arroyo. He's a team player. He's a guy that boosts clubhouse spirits. He's a guy that a lot of people like and enjoy, and a lot of people uh, became a fan favorite here in Boston, to be honest. Even though he's kind of reminds me of like a Brock Holt guy, a guy that's kind of like that role, not the complete role player, but a guy that fills in every now and then and keeps the spirits up. I mean, Brock Holt obviously was an All Star in 2015, but obviously later on down throughout his career, he was a guy that like platoon places. But he's a fan favorite. He got a good personality. Kind of gives me good vibes, and I love Christian Arroyo. I feel like he plays the game hard, and that's what you love. He reminds me a lot of like when he plays. He reminds me of like I always say the second basemen remind me of Dustin Pedroia. They play hard, they play gritty, and that's what I obviously like. I mean, Story is like a spinning image of Pedroia to me, but a more athletic Dustin Pedroia. I feel like that's a story for another day. I see Justin got his finger up again. We got Justin wanting to post something else as well. Justin's very talkative in the morning, and we love that. Good start to this episode. But yeah, I feel like I'm gonna continue talking until Justin pops it up. Give me the thumbs up when you're ready, Justin. But yeah, I feel like this team has a lot of good pieces, and I feel like at the end of the day, this team is gonna be very interesting to watch on opening day. The only question mark really is our pitching rotation, how it's going. I mean, yesterday Corey Kluber pitched really well. I think Justin's ready. You good? Let's see it, Justin. Pop it up on the screen for us. He might play for Puerto Rico if people get hurt in the WBC. That is true. I've heard that there are rumors that Christian Arroyo, because he is Puerto Rican, for those who don't know, might fill in for Team Puerto Rico. And we might see a blonde Christian Arroyo, because for those who don't know, you didn't watch on ESPN or on TV. Francisco Lindor was saying everybody on Team Puerto Rico is going to dye their hair blonde. So we're going to get a blonde Kike Hernandez very soon coming back into Boston. So that'll be fun to watch. But yeah, I feel like this team has a lot of pieces that I'm fun to watch. And I think that, especially speaking about the World Baseball Classic, a lot of players are leaving to go play for the World Baseball Classic, like Yoshida, Duran, Verdugo. So a lot of these guys that are trying to fight for opening day spots, especially these prospects, they're going to get their time to shine. And I think that's one thing I like about spring training and the World Baseball Classic, because the World Baseball Classic gives you playoff vibes. As you can tell, I'm repping Team USA today. But it gives you playoff vibes in March. And that's the best thing. I love watching like how intense and every pitch is important. But then you go to spring training, you get to see a lot of young guys get some reps, and that's good because you get to see more of the people who are the future of the game. Speaking of spring training, the MLB is testing out a brand new pitch clock. It's been tested in the minor leagues, been tested now in the major leagues. It'll be the first time it's been implemented, and we've seen our first weird ending to a game due to a pitch clock. Obviously, it ended in a tie because of spring training, but of course, ironically, I tweeted, of course, this happens to the Red Sox. Of course, it happens during a Red Sox game, but I don't know if you guys seen the other day, Red Sox were playing the Braves, and the batter didn't get in the box, an automatic strike, and it ended the game. And I feel like this is a big problem with it. I do like the pitch clock. I feel like baseball games are not. I seen one of my friends post on TikTok. Lane, shout out to Lane. Lane Fry, a great content creator on there. But if you watched his video, he said he posted a side by side of an NHL game, the average time, and an MLB average time. And without the pitch clock, a baseball game was shorter than an NFL game. I think this pitch clock is interesting, and I think it's something that we need to hear people's thoughts on. I'm going to start with you, Matt, since I started with Harrison the last time. What are your thoughts on the pitch clock and how you think it's going so far in the spring?
I think it's going relatively well. For amount of like kind of hiccups have been, it will get ironed out. I do think it should be 20 and 10 instead of 15 and 8, but I don't see them changing that. Maybe the MLBPA and the MLB will come together and extend that out a little bit. But in terms of its effectiveness, it will cut down on games. I don't really think it's going to draw more people to the game, though. And I think that's kind of the goal. I really I don't buy that the concept of like the games are really too long, because I still think that the people that are going to want to watch full games are going to would have watched them no matter what. Maybe you'll get a little bit of higher audience, but I don't think the effectiveness is really going to play a big difference. But if they want to do this and they think it's going to help, then it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like the one thing about boosting an audience, it's really hard for a sport that people say is dying but has some of the most highest views in their biggest games. I feel like for baseball, I agree. The people that are going to watch the games are going to be the diehard fans who enjoy the game of baseball. A lot of them, younger guy, I think what they're trying to do is target a younger audience, because a lot of young people love basketball. They love football. They love hockey because of the action. They love high pace, fast, intense action. And I feel like it's hard with a baseball game. Like obviously baseball, you have a lot of in betweens, like during without the pitch clock, you would sit there and you would sometimes there's a funny video on Instagram that shows Pedro Baez in the NLDS when he was facing the Cubs, and he had like a minute and 5 seconds before he threw a pitch, and now with the new pitch clock, someone got a strikeout within a minute. And it's just crazy to see the difference. But I feel like that's what they're trying to do. Target maybe a younger audience who doesn't have because obviously with baseball, you need to have sometimes I'm not even going to lie, like baseball, I'll have it on the screen and sometimes it'll be on the background and I'll watch and I'll listen to the game. But I feel like they want people to be on top and watching it. I agree. I feel like it's a little bit too short of a pitch clock time. I feel like adding a couple seconds, even though you said it's like a 10 and 2 second difference, it helps a lot because it still keeps the game going fast, but also it gives a lot of, because like you don't want to see things like that where Machado stepped in the box and he called an automatic strike because he literally didn't get the bat over his shoulder. I think there's some things obviously as a hitter too, you got to prepare yourself. You're going to see a pitch going by 100 miles per hour by your face. You're going to need time to prepare yourself for it. So I feel like adding a little bit of time on the clock
I'm
will
interested
help.
to see how it affects. I mean, it's going to be tough to really tell how it affects because the shift is going to make a huge difference too.
Mm-hmm.
But I wish they didn't do the shift this year just so we could see if there was going to end up being an effective, like how it would affect batters and pitchers stats wise. But we're probably not going to be able to get an accurate, difference with the shift because the shift's going to make a bigger difference than anything else.
I agree. I think the shift is something that I have. It's interesting to see now because obviously you can't be on the outfield grass. I feel like it's gonna help a lot with certain hitters. I mean, we saw Matt Olson, a guy who usually has the shift on him, a guy who's usually playing on the grass. A ball hit to the right side last year, a ball that usually would be grabbed by an infielder is now a base hit. It helps a lot of guys. And I feel like I think the shift should have waited a year or two. I personally enjoy the shift
We
because
might see
it's
the
just
difference in righties.
mm-hmm.
Righties we might be able to see because there's not really a lot of shifts on righties.
Oh, never. There's
But I mean,
usually like
lefties is like Rafael Devers might you're going to see a lot of lefties with their batting average tick up 5-10 points solely off of not having a shift. It's going to be interesting.
Mm-hmm. There were so many times last season too where Rafael Devers was robbed of hits, especially against the Yankees, because the Yankees would always shift heavy on Rafael Devers, and they would have, I think it's Gleyber Torres or sometimes IKF, depending on it. They would have IKF because now you can move. Speaking of, I know exactly what's coming. The Rafi and Garrett Cole photo, I knew it was coming. They would play.
It's just
They
so
would play
beautiful.
IKF like near the second base bag, like right at second base, like as if he was the second baseman, and to have Gleyber Torres like as like a kind of like a fourth outfielder, and it would take away a lot of hits from him. And I feel like now that having that shift band, it's gonna help. Like you said, it's gonna definitely help the left-handed hitters. But it's interesting to see how I don't know about right-handed hitters. I mean, you don't really see shifts, but I mean, obviously the position might be a little bit different. You might have people standing on one side of the bag. So I think right-handed hitters, it might not affect them as much, but definitely for the left-handed hitters, guys like Olson, guys like Devers, guys like Joey Gallo, who always gets robbed of hits. I feel like Joey Gallo is going to have that biggest spike. Obviously, if he doesn't strike out, because he strikes out 90% of the time, but when he does make contact, maybe he'll get a couple hits. But I want to hear your thoughts on the pitch clock, Harrison. What do you think of it?
Listen, I like it, but I just need a little bit more time. Just give it like 30 or 35 seconds and you'll be fine. And that's all. And that's it.
That is true. I feel like having a little bit more time to adjust to is something that's going to really help the game. I feel like it's going to help a lot of the hitters, but I think like from what I'm watching, it's just like it feels like it's super fast paced. Like you see guys, they throw it, they catch it, they don't even get set. They just get set really quick and just throw it again. It's like the guy that's not going to affect like we've seen is Max Scherzer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a guy that like always pitched very quickly, no matter what the case scenario was. Scherzer was always in the zone pitching fast. I feel like it's cool to see too how he had I don't know if you guys see Max Scherzer the video. He had a pitch a pitch column attached to his glove, especially for the pitch clock, but also because then him and his catcher Omar Narvaez can be on the same page. So after he throws a pitch, he could just call the calm, and then he can see if he agrees with it. Because he gets, I think it's like something where you get like I don't know how
I'm really
pitch calm
interested
works,
to see. I'm really interested to see how teams manipulate it because it's. So what happens if someone steps off the rubber but doesn't pick off to first? Does it reset? Because I know you can like if a pitcher's running out of time and he doesn't want to pitch it, he could just pick off to first if there's someone on first, right? I mean, and then it resets.
Technically, yeah. I mean, they could.
Or
do
what
that,
happens? What
reset.
happens if he just steps off? Is it a ball at that point? And then the clock doesn't start until it reaches the pitcher's glove. Like realistically, the catcher can just then take his sweet ass time, let the pitcher kind of get set, then throw on the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So there's going to be ways that you might see some pitchers manipulate it, and I'm interested to see how the MLB reacts to that.
I'm kind of glad that it happened. I mean, a guy like Sean Lester, especially when John Lester was in the league, he never picked off to first. So that's a guy that would not get used to the clock, I feel like, because he was terrified of picking off the first base. But I feel like, yeah, that should be interesting to see. I wonder if stepping off, would they like, that's something that they never really truly explained. And maybe it is in the handbook, but like stepping off, does that reset the clock? Does picking off, like, maybe a pick off, you try pick it off, and then you only have maybe the clock freezes. I'm not. That would be interesting to see if like they freeze the
Yeah,
clock and then when they come back
you could
on.
see within like if the clock's about to expire, a pitcher could literally just step off and just like turn and throw a lob ball to first, and I think it will count as a pickoff. You know what I mean? He doesn't have to turn and whip it to first and take the chance that it's a bad throw or anything like that. But if he's running out of time, he could just step off, lob it to first, get the ball back, and then the clock it has to reset at that point. So
Yeah.
I
I
think
don't
it
know.
should.
I mean, I
I
guess
think it's just
we'll
fun.
see.
It would be fun to see like how pitchers do it because it's gonna disrupt a lot of. I mean, pitchers used to do like things like, and I see Justin with your hand finger up. Don't worry, I didn't forget you, bud. I know like I see some pitchers like Nestor Cortez, Luis Garcia. He used to rock the baby, do this extra stuff. It'll be interesting. Justin said if a batter gets set before the 8-second mark, can pitchers throw? Rafi gonna love the band shift. Did y'all see what Rafi hit the first base last year was an out? I agree. Yeah, every time Rafi hit the ball towards first base, the first baseman was always shaded on the line and pulled up like towards the grass. So Rafi got robbed of a lot of hits last year. And I think if the batter gets set before 8 seconds, the pitcher is allowed to throw. But if the batter's
Yeah.
not set at 8 seconds, it's an automatic strike to the hitter. That's what we saw with Manny Machado. And I feel like yeah, like I was saying, there's guys who used to disrupt timing, like Nestor Cortez doing the fancy leg move, trying to throw people off a little bit with the timing, rocking the baby, Luis Garcia. I'm glad that's done, especially as me playing MLB The Show. I used to be so annoyed with Luis Garcia doing that all the time. So it helps a lot, I think, especially when it comes to disrupting people's timing. So I feel like it's going to be a good thing. And I think seeing it unfold, it's good that we're getting to see it in spring training. I think that what they should have done with the clock, tested in spring training. They should have waited until next season, technically, because the World Baseball Classic, they don't do those rules. They don't have pitch clock. They don't have bigger bases. They don't have all this extra stuff. And a lot of players are going to that's why they're throwing all this. Usually around this time of year, you don't see in the beginning of the year like star players starting in spring training right away. You'll see them like sprinkle them in and start getting them time. But usually you don't see teams just tossing out superstar lineups. And that's because the World Baseball Classic is happening. They want them to get ready for the World Baseball Classic. But they also want them to get used to the new baseball rules, especially with everything going on this year. Because once they leave for the World Baseball Classic and they come
When does
back,
that end?
they only have a week. I think it ends like around March 14th, March 15th ish. I think. I think it's only like a 2 week
So it's really
competition. I
quick.
want to say.
Yeah.
Let's see when it ends.
I wasn't sure how close it is until open day.
Let's
It's like
see, because
5
it
days
says
for
schedule.
I think it was like
Oh,
5
here we
days
go.
into the Baseball World Classic. The
The
WBC.
World Baseball Classic. It says Saturday, March 11th, Sunday, March 12th here. So let's
Oh, it's
see
March
if we
11th.
go. That's when it starts. Hold on. I think it
I
ends.
was wrong.
Hold
I
on.
thought it was on the 7th.
Okay, actually, the final one it's saying on the schedule here. I don't know if you guys can see because it's blurry sometimes because of my background. It's saying Wednesday, March 22nd. So that's a week before opening day. So there's gonna be a 2 week long thing starting this week. So if it ends a week before opening day, players only have a week to get used to that pitch clock. So it's gonna be and all the new rules. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they adjust.
So that will be just the final two teams. That being said, a lot of the stars will be on those final two
Be
teams.
probably back. Most likely, especially
yeah,
if it's who we think we are gonna be in
you'll
there.
have like 80% of the guys coming back before that, so they'll have a little bit more time.
Oh yeah.
And the only people that I could see probably staying a little bit longer is probably Kike Hernandez. Because obviously the Team Puerto Rico is stacked too. I feel like Team Mexico might get bounced early. This is why. This also is great because it gets into our next segment here. We wanted to talk about World Baseball Classic predictions. We've seen the rosters. We've seen the moves. We've seen the pitching staffs. We've seen the lineups. Who do you guys think are going to make it to the semifinals, the finals? We need to hear your predictions. I want to predict probably the finals to see who wins for the final two teams. I think we all have the same prediction, but I want to hear everybody's thoughts. I'm going to start with Matt since he's our guest here. What do you think is going to happen during this WBC?
Oh, I mean, I haven't dug. I looked at the rosters a few weeks ago, not recently, but I think it's really. I mean, you got the USA. They're going to be a top 3 or 4 team. The thing with baseball is, I mean, you guys know, any team can kind of win when you get into the final 4 or 5 teams. But I would guess it will be either Puerto Rico or Dominican that one coming out on top.
Ooh, okay.
I think that's a good one. I think, oh my God, that was a loud bang. Let's hear your thoughts, Harrison. What do you think?
Well, I don't know, dude. I haven't looked at the lineup recently. I want to go. We gotta still support USA, but and also I don't know, dude, because I haven't seen the lineup, but I know Shohei Ohtani's gonna be there. Same thing with Masataka Yoshida. Devers gonna be there. I kind of want to support. Dude, I don't know. It's a tough question. Okay, I'm gonna say for real. I'm gonna say USA and the Dominican Republic.
That is a fair choice. I am going to second that. I agree. I think Team DR is literally like a video game lineup. You got Julio Rodriguez, Rafael Devers. You got so many guys. Jeremy Pena. You got so many young studs in that lineup. You got Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Manny Machado. You got so many good players. I mean, there's other teams like Team Puerto Rico got Carlos Correa. They got Kike Hernandez playing center field. They got who else? Arroyo possibly, like Justin said, might be on that WBC roster. You got a lot of guys in Puerto Rico are very solid too. Javier Baez, Francisco Lindor. You got some young players, but Team USA, I think, is going to be one of those lineups that are going to be really. They have one of the best lineups besides Team DR. Pete Alonso DHing. You got Paul Goldschmidt, Nolan Arenado, Jeff McNeil, Mookie Betts, Kyle Tucker, Mike Trout. The list goes on and on, dude. Their team, their lineup, very solid. Their pitching rotation, it's shaky. They lost Clayton Kershaw. Kershaw can't pitch in the WBC. Nestor Cortez can't pitch in the WBC. They do have Adam Wainwright, but he's aging. I think Merrill Kelly's okay, but it's just going to rely on their offense if they can drive and runs, especially in a tournament pool. It goes by wins, but it also goes by the amount of runs. So if there's a tie, let's say 2 teams end with the same record in the pool, whoever has the most run, the higher run differential, they're going to move on to the next round. So I think
is it the winner of each pool that advance into the Final Four?
I'm assuming so. I think it's the winner of each pool. I think they take 2 out of each pool for like the ranking, and then they put them in the semifinals. And then whoever wins that, they go into like a
Pool D has
quarterfinal.
Puerto Rico, Venezuela, and the Dominican.
Venezuela is a good team too.
Yeah, they're certainly. I mean, they'll be in the mix. But if only one team comes out of that pool, and they all have to play each other, you know what I mean? I would say, I would go Dominican over Puerto Rico. I would guess Japan comes out of Pool B, and then you got Pool A. The Netherlands maybe. Chinese type A.
Kind of sneaky too, because they got Jerkson Profar, Xander Bogaerts. They got guys that are really solid too. I think low key Team Italy. I mean, gotta rep my Italian side. I don't know if you guys saw the other time what the Italian had in the last episode. I think Italy's a sneaky team too. Anthony Rizzo. They got some guys that are pretty solid too. I mean, but I think, like you said, I think that pool is very deep because there's so much talent in this WBC, but that's probably got to be the most talented pool, especially with talent. Obviously, because Hispanic ball players, they just are like on a different level. That's just like all they do in the DR. That's what they grow up there playing baseball at 15, 16. You see Rafael Devers signing with the Red Sox at 16. They're amazing over there. Puerto Rico, they grow up playing baseball. Like you see Mariano Rivera, he had like at 12 years old, he had a cardboard glove and he would play with that. That's just how you know that over there, they're just passionate about what they do. So especially with the talent that team has, I honestly, as much as I want to say, I think the U.S. makes the finals. as much as I want to root for like Italy or Puerto Rico, I think it's going to be the final is going to be DR and USA. And honestly, I want USA to go back to back, but that
So
Dominican Republic team is so good.
looking at it, it's the top two from each pool. So I think
Okay,
I
so
would go
that
I would go Canada and the Netherlands in Pool A,
mhm.
and then I mean you kind of have to go with Japan and Korea probably, or Japan and China from Group B. Group C, you
Mhm.
got to go with Mexico and the USA. I mean, I feel like those are Colombia's got an outside chance, I guess, but I would be surprised. And then Group D is going to be easily the hardest. Easily.
Hmm.
I would go to Dominican and Puerto Rico. So that would leave you with 8 teams. And at that point, I mean, Dominican's got to be the favorite. They're loaded. So, I mean, I don't know how the pool matches up once you get into the quarterfinals, but uh, I'd go with Dominican and USA probably as well.
Out of these pools, I feel like it might be for Pool A. I think the Netherlands and Italy. I like Cuba, but I don't think Cuba. I don't know who's on Team Cuba. I know Cespedes is on there. I think the young the one that's on the White Sox, the one that just got signed.
Yeah.
In Pool B, I think Japan and Korea probably most likely. I'd say for Pool C, I'd go USA and Canada or USA and Mexico. Mexico is kind of low key sneaky too. Pool
Yeah,
D, it's obviously DR and Puerto
Mexico
Rico.
should make it.
And I think for the fine, I think just because if you look at this Dominican Republic roster, they have the reigning Cy Young and Sandy Alcantara. They have so many young guys. They got what Framber Valdez, I think, is in there too. They got hold on, Dominican. I'm gonna look it up real quick because their team is disgusting.
They're the favorite, and they should be. I mean, Japan has a pretty real shot. You
They
got
do.
to
Okay.
they got a real shot as well.
They have Sandy Alcantara. They have Genesis Cabrera, who's really good. Johnny Cueto's on there. Luis Garcia, he's a stud. Yimi Garcia is very good. Christian Javier's on there. Oh my God. Jose
Vladimir
Leclerc.
Camaro Jr.,
Rafael Montero. Oh my God. This team
Wander
is
Franco, he's like by
absolutely
far
stacked.
Oh,
more.
it's absurd to just look at the roster.
That team is something else. Teoscar Hernandez, Eloy Jimenez, Julio Rodriguez, Juan Soto, Wander Franco. Oh my God. Yeah. The DR is going to be hard to beat. DR is hard to beat.
I
They're
mean,
gonna, and then Willie Adamas too. Like they got Willie Adamas. Like come on, they got
if
him on
USA
their bench.
lose, I'm gonna go with DR for Rafi.
I know. I want to see Rafi at least get some. I mean, he already got the World Series ring. I want to see him bring home. I'm rooting for Team USA for one reason, and I know I sounds hilarious, but this might be Mike Trout's biggest accomplishment of his career because the Angels never make the playoffs. So what I want to see them do, at least have a successful moment in Mike Trout's career. I want to see him get the trophy. I mean, Mike Trout even said it. He wants to bring. They said they had an interview and they said for every player today. They said in the MLB posted it. They're like, "What would be what's your biggest baseball like on your bucket list?" And he said, "To win the World Baseball Classic." So that's just how it goes to show you that Mike Trout is. No matter what he's gonna do, like this will be interesting to see how Mike Trout does because he finally gets
Dude,
to
he needs to
perform.
get off the Angels.
He does. He really does. I
I'm
feel
so
like there
sick of
needs to
it.
be an opt. There needs to be an opt out or a trade. I feel like the Angels. I think Otani is lucky that he can finally move on because I think he's gone. I think personally, for me, I'm not gonna lie. I think he might come to Boston possibly, and there's a reason why. I mean, he just signed with New Balance. I think New Balance is located in Boston, their headquarters. Not saying that like all connects to one another, but he said he wanted to play for like a big market team. So the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Dodgers are gonna be on him. So I could feel like one of those teams are gonna
No,
get
I'll
even the
scream if he
Padres.
goes to New York.
If he goes to New
I'll
York, that would be
I'll go trigger.
terrible.
I'll be triggered.
The Padres are all talk like they're signing so many
No,
people to such ridiculous contracts.
They
They're
are.
not going to be. They might be able to re-sign Soto, but like the talk that they're going to be on Soto and Otani, like
It's
no,
crazy.
you're not.
I'm sorry. It's
No,
just like
you're
if they're gonna get
not.
Otani if the Padres get Otani, I might lose my mind because they wasted so much money on Bogey, Juan Soto, Michael Waka. It's just like it's too much. It's too much.
I don't
feel
know
They
like
where
gave
they
you
got this
Darvish a
money.
6-year deal.
Yeah, till he's
Yeah.
41, which is a dumb contract for a pitcher.
Every
'cause-
owner, well, not every owner, but the majority of the owners have the money. They just don't want to spend it.
It's
That is
just
very
like
true.
it's worse than like Aaron Judge wants to waste 9 years in New York for no reason, and I just can't see him winning a ring in New York for the next 9 years. I mean, if last time a couple years ago, not couple, I mean, like up from the off season, I thought Aaron Judge might come to Boston. I really thought it was gonna happen.
I thought it was going to happen
Yeah.
too. I really thought he was going to come here possibly, but there was no way that when he was quote unquote signed with the Giants, I thought it was legit. I'm so surprised that he
Yeah.
went to New York. But I mean, hey, props to him. He's respect. I
I
mean,
want the
going back to a
Sox to
place
sign
that boos you.
Ohtani. I want them to sign Ohtani solely for the Chaim Bloom haters to just get a massive kick in the face. I'm so sick of listening to people talk about him not like spending money and all that type of shit. Like anytime you spend on like more than 200 million on a prospect or on any player, excuse me, ownership is approving that. There is no like open checkbook and you just get to go sign whoever you want. So they want to talk about Bogey and Bogey, they should have extended him last year. But like when it came down to this past offseason, there's no way ownership was agreeing to give him the deal that he got.
Oh, absolutely not. I love Bogey, but I wouldn't have given him 11 years.
No,
like
that was
until
an
you're
awful
41.
deal.
No,
That's gonna
I
be an
can't.
awful deal.
When it comes
I'll
down the
give him
line, he's
9.
going to be playing first base probably by the time he's 37, 38 when he gets up there, and he's going to be a guy that probably retires by the time he's 37 or
They're not going to be
34,
able
35.
because everybody else.
That Padres got that
They're going to need
contract
to
might
trade.
haunt the
The only way they can keep. Well, the only way they can re-sign Soto is I think they're going to eventually trade Tatis.
I think it's happening too. I
think
can
it's
see
gonna
it
happen
happening.
too. Yeah, he might come to Boston. Maybe he might go.
I don't think it's going to be soon. I would love to see a trade for Tatis in Boston. That would be, but that you would need to give up a lot. And I think the thing with that is Chaim Bloom finally built up that club. They finally gave it the new updated list. You were talking about 23. They put the Red Sox in the top 10 in farm systems. If you build your team
Baseball
farm
America.
system up to a 10, if you have a top 10 farm system, you have the prospects to get a guy like that. But then Chaim Bloom doesn't want to destroy all of these built. You know how hard it is to get top prospects and build up a farm system, and then you just lose it all by the trade. Not saying Tatis isn't amazing, because Tatis is an amazing player.
If they suck this year, he might not be around for any of those guys. So.
Oh, that is true. And then if he's gone, someone comes in and just destroys what he built. It's like kind of like a Dave Dombrowski situation. Dave Dombrowski came in, and I'm not saying Dave Dombrowski is terrible. He's a great owner, GM, because what he does, he just signs people in it. He comes in on short. He knows what he wants. A world championship, signs players, gets the job done, and then once he gets the job done, it's like I look at it as he kind of destroys a franchise. Look at the Tigers. Look at the Red Sox after he left. They weren't doing too hot. I mean, it's weird. 2019, they had the same team on paper, and they still didn't win a World Series or make the playoffs. So it was confusing that year. Then obviously they fired him. I don't know why they fired him after 2 years, 3 years after winning a World Series. It was confusing.
Well, if he has to go. The only way he's successful is if he goes to a team where he can freely spend and can unload major prospects. So if they don't allow that, or owner doesn't allow him to do that, he could never be a consistent build through the farm system type of GM. That's just not who he is.
Right.
I agree. I feel like he's the type that they let him spend, and we see it in Philly. He signed a lot of free agents this year. Trey Turner, the biggest one, obviously, signed a couple guys, made a couple trades.
They signed Harper and Castellanos and Schwarber and a few pitchers.
Schwarber still hurts me. I wish he was still here with us. I think Chaim should have gave him a contract, just have him as a DH. But
that's one of his mistakes. That's one of his mistakes. I mean, they could have even dealt with it for 1 year, putting him in left field last year.
And then they knew JD was going to walk, so I mean, put him.
Well, they could have traded
him back there.
They could have even traded JD.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
I'm surprised they didn't do that at the deadline. When I was sitting there, I was so surprised. Don't get me wrong, JD Martinez, arguably in the past recent years, not including David Ortiz, was one of the Red Sox greatest free agent signings. What he did for the Red Sox, he played through his contract and he played every year good. I mean, obviously 2020 I don't really count that because that's a down year. And last year, I mean, his power numbers were down, but he was still hit over 40 doubles. That man did a lot of good stuff for that Red Sox lineup. I think he was worth every penny. I wish the Red Sox, I kind of wish they re-signed him at least on a 1-year deal, but it is what it is. He went and now everybody who's leaving's taking shots at Heim. I feel like it's weird. JD wanted to be on a winning team, which makes sense. The Dodgers have a winning culture. And then Matt Barnes talking about the higher ups, everyone in the higher ups treating him right, kind of like a little jab to Heim Bloom, who didn't even tell him he was DFAing him, which is the best thing.
Matt Barnes can go fly a kite. The dude, It was Heim Bloom that extended him, right? It was Heim Bloom that gave him the damn contract. It wasn't Heim Bloom who got paid and then just started sucking in the middle of the season.
You can't.
He put himself in this situation.
Yeah,
and I think another thing that's great is Heim Bloom has had some very good contracts that people need to stop hating on. Because listen, you got Garrett Whitlock extended, which is a great contract. Whitlock, I feel like he should be a reliever, but that's a story for another episode. Obviously, speaking of story, Trevor Story's contract, I think it's going to pan out for the Red Sox once his elbow's healthy. I think that's going to be a good contract because he's going to bounce back. I think Story's a great player. And then Yoshida, I think he's going to be really good. I think Yoshida's going to be a good leadoff hitter for the Sox. But I feel like a lot of those contracts so far we don't know. There's a lot of question marks because obviously we haven't seen it pan out. But a lot of his moves, at least in 2021, we saw the moves he made and the team play good. So we can see what happens this year. I feel like this year is going to be a good year for the Red Sox, and I'm hoping for it.
Yeah, I think so too.
All right. And obviously there's a lot of depth pieces too this year. There's a lot of guys that can play multiple positions, and I feel like this is good to have because if you want to rest some people, you can rest some people. You got Valdez can play second base, third base, shortstop, wherever you want to throw him. Justin Turner can play first base. I see Justin got his finger up. He wants to say something. Let's see it, Justin. Let's hear what you got. Let's see what you got. Yeah, but they do have a lot of depth. I feel like this team might. Yeah. I mean, there's so many pieces you can move. I mean, you got Arroyo can play the outfield if you need it. Duran can play outfield, second base. Justin Turner could DH, first base, third base. There's guys that can play multiple outfield positions. I think there's players that. Oh, is Justin sharing his screen? We got a screen share. Here we go. It's loading. All right, these are Justin's WBC predictions. He said give him 5 minutes. So here we go. Pool A, he got Cuba and Panama. Ooh, that's a good choice. Pool B. Is this a troll job, Justin? Japan and Czech Republic. Okay, this ain't bad. Okay, we're getting
Japan should win.
Japan. Oh, Japan. I didn't even read it. Czech Republic, though. That's an interesting pick. That's a hot take. I'll take it, though. Runner-up, Panama versus Japan. Winner, Cuba versus Czech Republic. Cuba wins. USA and Mexico. DR and Puerto Rico. USA versus Puerto Rico. USA wins that one. DR and Mexico. DR. Semifinal. USA beat Japan. Oh, Japan beating the USA. DR versus Cuba. DR. Rafi wins the WBC. You think DR beats Japan? That's a good choice. Czech Republic, though. Who do they have on that team? I don't even know who's on that team, but that's a good pick, Justin. I like that.
That is a good take.
Before we end this, I think Harrison had an MLB Grid Challenge he wanted to pull up on his screen, too.
I do actually, my friend.
We did a bunch of these last episode, but we got enough time for one MLB Grid Challenge. These are always fun. I don't know if you've seen them on your Twitter, but they're fun.
This is only going to be one time for the one time. This is only going to do one grid, so you got to share.
What are we doing? I don't know what this is.
Yeah, Rob, you want to?
So what this is it's called an MLB Grid Challenge. So basically, what this is on the grid here is you have multiple things. So you got to name players. So on this screen, like the Padres and the players who played for both the Padres and the Dodgers. And it could be any player of all time. A player that played for the Dodgers and Rangers, a player that played for the Dodgers and Pirates, same thing. So you kind of go through a row of players that play for the Padres, Angels, A's and Rangers, A's and Pirates, stuff like that. And it's a little bit of fun. It gets you thinking about the older players.
I want to go first. Okay,
all right, go first, Harrison. What you got?
Rich Hill. Give me the Dodgers and the Pirates.
Okay, that's a good pick. Okay, Dodgers, Pirates, Rich Hill. Okay, that's a good start. Angels and Padres. Give me Brandon Drury on that one. Brandon Drury, who played last year for the Padres, got traded for a little bit. Now he's on the Angels.
Okay.
Angels and I got a good
oh,
one for Angels
I got a
Rangers,
good
but I'm
one
gonna
too.
hold it.
Give me Ryu, Dodgers, and Rangers.
Ooh, that's a good choice. Good choice. Wait, oh, you don't think he only
Jesus,
played for the?
my mind doesn't
Yeah,
work like
Ryu.
this.
Yeah, he played for the Rangers for 1 year.
Oh, I never knew that. The more you know.
He played for the Dodgers, then he went to the Rangers. He's now with the Blue Jays.
Oh, I didn't know he went to the Rangers. That's interesting.
No, hold on. I swear to God, he went.
No,
to
he's only played for the Dodgers and the Rangers.
No, he went to the. I swear to God, he went to the Rangers.
I have a very good choice for the Angels and Rangers. This is a guy that probably gets a lot of hate nowadays for what he's done in his personal life, but on the field, we're going Josh Hamilton. Angels and Rangers. We all know he signed that deal with the Angels and he sucked.
That's a good one. Didn't Vlad play for both?
He did play for both.
Yeah, Vlad played for both. The Pirates are tough because Pirates fucking suck at everything.
Manny, Dodgers, and Padres. Manny Ramirez never played for the Padres. Did he? I don't think so. I don't think so, Justin. He did? Are you sure?
No.
Oh, Manny Machado. You're talking. I'm thinking Manny Ramirez. I'm like, Manny. When you say man, that's the thing about my Red Sox fans. When I see Manny, I thought Manny Ramirez.
So
yeah,
Ryu
Manny
did
Machado.
not play for the Rangers. I thought he played for the Rangers.
I told you he didn't play for the Rangers.
Dude, I swear to God, I saw, or it might be a different
Dodgers and Rangers. Ooh, I know who played for the Dodgers and Rangers. Red Sox legend Eric Gagne.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Cubs and Pirates.
Cubs and Pirates.
That
That's Rich Hill. That's Rich Hill.
Oh, I thought that was. Damn it. Angels and Rangers. Angels and Pirates. No, it's not.
You Darvish played for the Rangers originally, right?
I think so.
I think he played for the Rangers when he came up.
Yeah, so Darvish would be Cubs and Rangers, right? He played, Rangers and then the Cubs.
The funny thing is, Darvish played for the Cubs, the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Rangers. He hasn't played for the Angels and Pirates, but he played for every other team on this list. So you could do Darvish for like 3 of these. Darvish for Dodgers, Padres. You could do Rangers, Dodgers for Yu Darvish, Cubs, and you could do so much for Yu Darvish on this one. Pirates are a head scratcher. Well, Pirates, Dodgers, you could do Rich Hill, like I said. That's the one. And Cubs and Dodgers, or Cubs and Pirates, you could do that too. The Pirates.
I'm just like trying to think of like names that went through the Pirates. They just don't stay there long enough for me to like remember
Cubs
who they
and
ended up being.
Pirates. There's so many like the Pirates and the Pirates and Angels. Who played for the Pirates and the Angels, dude?
That's like Parvati.
That is Parvati.
That's like shit on top of shit.
There's gotta be some.
That's the plot twist right here.
You gotta think about past though.
We're stuck on the Pirates and Angels right now. That's the only one we're stuck on right now.
Wait, what did you say for Cubs and Rangers?
Cubs and Rangers.
Cubs and Rangers was Yu Darvish.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, okay, you just said that. Okay. Well, think I'll be.
Wait. There's Oh, he's a pitcher. He's not. I don't think he's on either team right now. He just recently. I'm pretty sure he pitched. I think he pitched for the Pirates last year. He's a lefty. Oh God. Oh, Jose Quintana.
Oh yeah, that is true. He played for the Cubs and Pirates. Mm-hmm.
No, I think he played. Wasn't he in L.A. with the Angels?
I think he was on both because I know he was on the Cubs too. That nails that down. Let's see.
Dude, I was right.
I know he's on
the... Dude, Rob, they did sign Ryu they signed him for like 2 years, $32 million.
What? Quintana. Let's see.
Dude, I swear to God, he was on the Rangers. Like he was on the Rangers for 1 year, and then he just
Jose
got traded,
Quintana.
and then he went to the Blue Jays.
Yeah, it looks like
I have to look it up now.
He was on the Angels in 2021. He played for the Angels and Giants, so that's enough.
He went for the Angels. Yep.
Then he got
he was in Chicago, the Cubs too. So he's Pittsburgh Pittsburgh and Chicago. Pittsburgh and Chicago, and then Pittsburgh and the Angels.
And then I think that's all, right? We did all the other teams, right?
No,
Angels,
we
Rangers.
don't know. We didn't say Dodgers and Rangers because Rio was not part of that.
Well, we already. Well, we said
Rio,
Well, you don't have your answer. I have my answer. Matt has his answer. Justin gave an answer or two.
I didn't see what Justin.
Well, you
was.
Darvish kind of answers for like multiple. But other than you, Darvish, I don't know if I did Rangers in LA.
You one more? One time for the one time?
Do we want to do one more? I'm down for one more. These are fun. We can do one more. What's got one more? Pop one up, Harrison. Okay. Find one more. These are fun. I could do like 2 hours of these. Let's see. It looks like Hyunjin Ryu only played for the Padres and not the Padres. We gotta do one. Do the one with the Red Sox. Do the Red Sox one.
Oh yeah. Okay. I think I'm gonna go first. Give me Nathan Eovaldi, Red Sox and Rangers, and also give me Kyle Schwarber, Red Sox and Cubs. I don't know who plays for the Diamondbacks. Who plays for the Diamondbacks and the Red Sox?
I know one. All right, I got an underrated pick. Okay, I'm gonna do these because a couple of those to the top run with the Red Sox. I know some Red Sox Rangers. Give me Ian Kinsler. That's a random pick, but he did. Red Sox and Cubs. John Lester. Red Sox and Diamondbacks. I have two people that no one talked. Well, actually, I have three. Steven Drew, Devin Marrero, Blake Swihart, all play for the Red Sox. And
Blake Swihart is who's in my mind, but I forgot about Marrero. Yeah, because he got traded there after he inevitably was a massive, massive bust.
Mm-hmm. I really wanted him to do good, bro.
Oh, here's an obvious one. Diamondbacks and Cardinals is Paul Goldschmidt.
Easy. I was just about to say that. Cardinals and Cubs is another good one. Another one, like you said before, Jose Quintana. He played for the Cardinals, I think, a little bit. Another Cardinals Cubs, though, John Lackey. And Lester, you could say the same because he barely played for the Cardinals, but John Lester played a little bit. Rangers and Cardinals. Ooh. Rangers and Cardinals.
Rangers and Cardinals.
Rangers and Cardinals.
No way, Michael Wacha.
Adrian Beltre for Red Sox Rangers. Good choice. I like Adrian Beltre. Can't forget Adrian Beltre.
Michael Wacha. I don't think he never played for the Rangers.
No, he never played for the Rangers. Rangers.
Imagine?
Rangers and Cardinals. Oh, that's a hard one. No. That's a tough one. Guardians and Diamondbacks. Holy, this one's a little hard. I'm not gonna lie. Holy hell.
Guardians and D-backs.
Ooh, that's hard.
Imagine playing with Arizona. I mean, they're Arizona's Parvati, so.
I think they're gonna be nasty. I think they're an underrated team this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Did Trevor Bauer play in Arizona?
He did to begin his career.
And then he played
for the Indians at the time.
Yeah, he played for the Indians as well, right?
Yep. Trevor Bauer, yeah. So Guardians, Diamondbacks.
Was Swanson? Oh wait, no, he was with the Blue Jays. No, actually, no, he was with the Braves. Shit. Damn, I'm stunk.
Guardians and for the Guardians and the Cubs. Oh my god, this one's hard. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. I am drawing a blank. Usually I'm good at these. I'm just drawing a blank. Guardians and Rangers. This one's hard. I'm not gonna lie. And then Rangers and hold on. I have a player in mind, but I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to seem wrong. But I'm gonna fact check it real quick.
Who are you thinking? Guardians and Rangers?
I'm thinking for Guardians, and I got an answer for the Guardians and the Cubs, I think, but I don't want to be wrong. There's Guardians, Mets. Okay, he played for the Giants. Nah, he didn't. Fuck, damn it. Damn it. I was going to say Rajay Davis, but Rajay Davis never played for the Rangers, so there goes my end. Or the Cubs. He played for the Guardians. Man,
Damn,
this is
I'm
hard.
stunk.
Oh,
This one's hard.
Guardians in Texas. Who was that lefty that was filthy in like probably like
Ooh,
2006,
I know. I think I know who
2007?
you're talking about. Andrew Miller.
No. He was a starter. Cliff Lee.
Oh, Cliff Lee. I remember Cliff Lee.
Cliff Lee was really good for
How
for
could I forget
years.
about Cliff Lee? I couldn't even. I forgot he played for the Rangers for a little bit.
Yeah, I think he signed there after. Was it after the Guardians?
I think right after, yeah, he went there and he went to in the World Series in 2010 with them. Now that rings a bell. Now that rings a bell. I couldn't even think of it. Now that makes sense. The Guardians and Cubs
Yeah.
is confusing. Guardians and Diamondbacks too. Like I can't really think of like four because the Diamondbacks haven't had like huge names. Like Justin Upton's. Wait. I think no, but never mind. He played for the Diamondbacks and Cubs. No, he played for the Diamondbacks and Rangers. This is hard. Guardians and Cubs. Dude, this is
No, wait, no, that's not it. Shoot, dude.
Guardians and Cubs. I'm trying to think of like who played for the
Harold
the
Ramirez?
Guardians over the years.
I think Harold Ramirez, Cubs and
Oh, I got one. Jason Kipnis for the Cubs and the Guardians.
I got.
Oh, that's a good one.
I couldn't even think.
I got Harold Ramirez. Give me for Cubs and the Guardians.
Harold Ramirez, Cubs and Guard. Oh yeah, Harold Ramirez. That's a good pick. And then
I
the
feel like
last
Rich Hill
one-
has to be on two of these, right?
Yeah, Rich Hill's the
played
Red
everywhere.
Sox and Cubs, Red Sox and Rangers.
Yeah,
Rich
but
Hill's like-
he played in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Played in Texas.
He-
Played in Boston.
He played in Cleveland for a year too.
Mm-hmm. Did he play in Cleveland? No. Did he?
Yeah.
Oh my
He
God.
played 2013 in Cleveland. He was
Oh,
terrible, and he was terrible, but he.
But he still
But
plays.
he
did
still
play in
played.
Cleveland, that's true. Then he went to the Dodgers that year. Then he went back to the Rich Hill. He had a troop. I agree,
Props to
Justin.
him, dude. He's still going.
He's been playing since 05. Jesus, 18 years. Oh my God, what a dog. He's played for Chicago for 4 years, Baltimore for a year, Boston for 4. Then he went to Cleveland. Then he got traded to the Dodgers. Then he went to the Yankees. I forgot Rich Hill was a Yankee for a while. Went back to Boston. Then he went to Oakland.
Jamison Talon.
Jameson Taillon. Yeah, that is true.
I don't know. I would say it's Talon. Give me up for Cubs and Guardians. That should be a good one. I know he
Jameson
played for the
Taillon
Yankees.
paid for the. Are you sure?
Dude, I looked it up.
So you cheated, is what you're saying?
Yes, I did cheat. It's only one time.
Unbelievable. Actually, he
Actually,
only played
no,
for the
twice.
Pirates, and he only played for the Pirates and the Yankees here. So you can't say you cheated if you don't got the facts checked.
I hate looking up. I'm old. I'm getting old.
I got one. The Cardinals and Diamondbacks, and that should be the last one.
God, who
Problem-
plays
Oh,
with
not the Cardinals. Not the Cardinals.
Diamondbacks, dude?
Sorry, not the Diamondbacks and Did we do them all? Actually, hold on.
Yeah, we did
Gar-
everyone.
or actually
Cardinals and
Guardians
Diamondbacks with Paul Goldschmidt.
Actually, the Guardians and Rangers. I didn't. Did we do the Guardians and Rangers?
Yeah, that was Cliff Lee.
Oh, okay. Then we got them all. That's
Yeah.
how you know I'm. That's how you know I'm burnt and tired. All right. That was a fun episode. We got a lot to talk about in that episode. Thank you, as always, for coming on, Matt, and joining us. You're always welcome back, as always. Is there anything that
Yep.
you want to say or anyone you want to shout out at all?
No. Thank you guys for having me. You can find me on Twitter at Macator5. You can see all my Patriots and Red Sox and occasional Celtics and Bruins articles. But no, other than that, appreciate you guys having me, and I'm sure we'll do this again.
Oh,
A long
absolutely.
baseball season ahead of us.
During the one more. Oh, Justin got one more thing he wants to say. Let's see it, Justin. Also, yeah, you're always welcome back. Especially, we might be holding a live watch party before the season starts to talk Red Sox baseball and talk opening day. So if you want to hop on with us, just let us know. We're going to try and get a bunch of people on there. We already got some set people around Twitter on there. I know we got Jason's going to hop on a little bit. We're going to get Corbin. Conference tournament this weekend and Nationals next week. I'm pausing my Red Sox fandom for a week. Oh yeah, so for everyone who doesn't know already, Justin he coaches a basketball team and his team is in the final. So if Justin does come home with 3 rings, don't be surprised. So in the next episode you might see, it might just be me and Harrison by ourselves hosting this.
Yeah.
Unless Justin comes back in time. He might come back in time for a 3-time championship. You never know. Worst case scenario,
and he's gonna
me and
drink a lot
Harrison
of
will hold it
mudslides.
down. Oh, definitely. Justin's going to party like there's no tomorrow. But as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. If you guys haven't already, gave us a follow. If you guys are seeing this on your YouTube suggestions, hit the subscribe button. We talk Red Sox baseball all the time. If you want to, listen to us on Apple Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you can get your podcasts. We're also featured on Wisdom, also Amazon. So wherever you guys can get your podcast, you can get this podcast and stream it. As always, thank you so much, Matt, for coming on. Harrison, as always, thank you for being a great co-host. Same with you, Justin, as always. As always, this is Rob, Harrison, Justin, and also Matt signing off. Go Sox. We love that dirty water, baby.